Hello guys, in today's video I will be doing episode 2 of the shooter game, and in this episode we will be making enemies. In the last episode we got movement and shooting set up, and now what we need to do is make enemies. So what you're going to do is make a new sprite and call it enemy. Then you can make it into whatever you want. I'll do a square, a red square, actually a dark blue square enemy, similar to the player. You can design it however you want. I'll make it roughly the same size as the player, with again another bold outline, and I'll just round the corners. You can do whatever you want with the enemy sprite. I'm just keeping it simple. So once you've done that, you can put a face on it if you want. You don't have to. I will. So it's the same as the enemy, as the player, but I'll just give it 2 angry eyebrows. So, and now into the code. When green flag clicked, hide, and then forever, put a wait block there and a create clone of myself before that, and you want to wait, pick random 0.2 to 1 second, or you can make this whatever value you want, and then when I start as a clone, go to 2x of a 240, and for y, pick random negative 180 to 180. This will spawn it anywhere on this side of the screen. And then what you'll do is show, and once it's shown, then a forever loop, and I will set the rotation of the enemy to don't rotate. This will be important. After you've done that, then forever point towards player and move, let's say 5 steps, and let's see how that looks. So we've got a lot of enemies coming in now. So I'll make it a bit slower. So let's see how it looks now. Yeah, that looks okay. And then an if statement in the forever loop. If touching bullet, then you will want to delete this clone. Let's see how that looks. So it's working now, but the bullet just goes right through instead of being destroyed with the enemy. So to fix that, you'll put a wait 0.0001 seconds. This will be important, I'll explain it in a minute. Then into the bullet sprite, in the repeat until touching edge, you'll need an or touching enemy. So once you've done that, I'll show you. It destroys them both, but without the wait 0.0001 second, it doesn't work, because the enemy is still being destroyed first for some reason. But with the wait, the bullet gets destroyed first, which is needed. Okay, so that is the first enemy, but we'll want to add more types of enemies, so I'll change this costume name to normal, and then I'll duplicate it. I'll make it a bit smaller, and then I'll change this to orange and make the outline a bit bit smaller. So once you've done that, design it however you want, and then change the name to fast. After you've done that, make a variable and it called enemy type, and it is really important that you use for this sprite only, so it can have a new enemy type for every clone. So at the start of when I start this clone, set enemy type to pick random from 1 to 10. Yeah. And what you want to do is do an if-else loop. If enemy type is greater than, let's say 3, 4, so that means it has a 50%, 60% chance of spawning, I think, 70 or 60% chance of spawning, I'm not sure, then it will switch the costume to normal, and in the else, we won't need another enemy type greater than or less than yet, so we'll use switch enemy to fast, and then only one time point towards player, but it will move 15 steps. And let's try that. So yes, and we'll test it out. So it is working right now. Yeah. Sometimes the fast enemies do spawn. There's one now. It does only point in the direction once. It does that, but it doesn't die when it touches the edge. So you'll need a touching bullet or touching edge. But that, because it spawns there, we'll need it instead to go to this, but let's try 220. Yep, there we go. Spawns the fast enemy 3 times in a row. That's quite rare. And now I'll make a strong enemy, so it'll be like a normal enemy, but it will be stronger. And by that I mean it will have more health than a normal enemy, and I'll show you how to implement that in a second. So first, just design it however you want. I'll just make it a big red one, and then you'll need another if-else. If I'll now change this to greater than 4, and then if enemy type, so if it's not greater than 4, but if it's greater than 2, then it will do the fast, and if it's not that, then change this back to 240, and it will switch costume to strong. So it will go back to X of 240, and this time it will be in the forever, and it will move 3 steps. The point towards play will be in the forever, and it will be just touching the bullet now. And now I'll show you how to make enemy lives. So and then it's really important, like the enemy type, that this is for this sprite only, so each clone can have their own one. So I'll give the second normal enemy will have 2 lives. So what you'll need to do is duplicate the normal enemy, then make it like a damaged sprite. I'll do this by just like putting a few holes in it by just using the rubber tool and erasing some bits. And then for strong, it will have 4 lives. So strong 2, it will have just 2 of those. For strong 3, it will have a few more. Big gash there. Then for the final one, which is its last life, I'll put in some bigger gashes and holes. So once you've done that, you'll need it. So on this set, enemy lives to 2. For fast, it will just have 1 life. Then for the strong one, set enemy lives to 4 and make sure it is a set. And after we've done that, if touching bullet, then after that it will go to next costume. Let's see if that works. So that did not work. Okay. Oh, I've not made it do it yet. So next costume, and before that, when it's touching that, instead of deleting this clone, it will change enemy lives by -1, and then if enemy lives is equal to 0, then it will delete this clone, and we can copy this over into the strong. So just delete this, put that in, and now let's see if it works. That is not working. So why isn't that working? I think it's meant to be after this if statement, actually. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, the enemy lives are working. And that will be all for today's video. Goodbye guys, and see you in the next video.